In this video, we'll look at one of the weirder quadratic patterns that I've come across. So I thought that you'd appreciate it and doing it together. And so we've got the first four terms of a quadratic number pattern. And so with that, if you wanted to, you could start working out the first difference and second difference and all of that. You've also got the first three terms in terms of P of the first differences of the same pattern. And so what I'm going to do just to start this video is I'm going to start working on the first difference level, because if I can work out the first difference and work out P, then I can go back and change these into numbers, which will make life a bit easier going forwards from the original. And so on the first difference level, if I've got these as my three terms, then to get to this level it will be, and I'm just going to write it longer than I would normally, but it's term 2 minus term 1 in brackets. Sadly, that's often where we have a few casualties of war, is people just not putting brackets carefully, and so all these terms become wrong. P minus 2p is minus p. Minus becomes plus 4, minus 3 is 1. So that's the second difference level. And then this one, it's p over 2, so half a p, minus p would be negative half p. And minus becomes plus 3, minus 1 is plus 2. And so these two are our second difference level, and they should be the same. So we can set up an equation just with these two. I'm going to take my p across, so it will become minus a half p plus a p will leave me with half a p. And I'm going to take my numbers across. 1 minus 2 becomes minus 1. And then this 2 at the bottom will times up. And so my answer for p will end up being negative 2. What that means is I could go back here and just replace these with the actual numbers they are. And so if this is minus 2, then it would be 2 times minus 2 is minus 2. Minus 4 minus another 4 is minus 8. So we've got this happening at a first step level. We've got a first difference of minus 8. If p is minus 2, then minus 2 minus 3 will be minus 5. If p is minus 2, then minus 2 over 2 will be minus 1. Minus another 1 is minus 2. And so just for interest's sake, we can see that the second difference was going up by 3. And so we've worked out p. How do we get x and y? So let's zoom in just here. If I wanted to work out the first difference between these two, if I didn't know the minus 8, I would say it's term 2 minus term 1 should get me the first difference. And so when I take that plus 4 across, it becomes minus 4. If I wanted to work out the first difference, maybe here, for example, it would be term 4 minus term 3 should have got me the first difference. And so if I take y across, I get y. And if I plus 2 across, I get minus 9. And there I've got my p, my x, and my y. And so I hope that you found that helpful, just going through a question with so many letters. And you just discipline yourself not to panic and just to work with what you can first. If you did start with the quadratic, you might have just found yourself getting a bit of a dead end with the x's and the y's. And that's why I personally find it helpful just to work with the first difference, only having p, because I would be able to work out one letter. And once I had one letter, I could just sub that back in to the first differences to have actual numbers to then finish the question with. I hope that you found that helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends. Thanks.